Okay, fine. So we just executed this and we saw the result, and definitely there will be whatever, it's not a unique word printing. Okay, tokenization just breaking the sentence into words. Okay, the words may be repeated. Now we'll see stop words. Again, I am already importing the library which I'm going to use and the text. Okay, it is already there. Now we'll try to remove the stop words. Okay, before that, if you see here, I am importing punctuation. What is punctuation? We'll just print what is punctuation. Punctuation. If you execute this much, so you see what are those punctuation. So these kind of words, special character, equal, star, parenthesis, these are the words. So what I want to do here, I want to remove these kind of words, dot, comma. I don't want these words because I am cleaning up my text. So I don't want these kind of characters in my final text. So what we'll do, first we'll create our custom list. Custom list. Okay. Now, what is this custom list? I want to remove first of all stop words from my sentence plus any punctuations are there. So I am trying to create a list combining all these stop words and punctuation. So this library nltk.corpus is having list of all the stop words, and from the punctuation which I am importing from string library, it is the list of all those special character which you are able to see on my screen. Okay, so I'm just combining these two together and creating a set of these. So how to do that is stop words dot words. Now I have which language I'm going to use. So I have to declare it's English. So it will take those stop words as per the language you declare. Now plus list, I am converting the punctuations into a list form. Punctuation. Okay. Now execute this as well and see if there is any kind of typo. Okay, it executed. Now what I will do, okay. Now what I will do, if people who knows Python, they know how to write in Pythonic way. Okay, so word list equal to, I will say word for word in word. I will explain this. Let me type how this works. Tokenize. Okay, text if word not in custom list. Custom list. Okay, so what I'm doing here, I am first doing what to say, tokenization. This text, I have applied the tokenization and running a for loop here for word in this. So whatever tokenization we did in initial here, okay, that all will be converted to a list, and then using for loop, I have going through each word one by one. Now, once for each word, I am checking inside the custom list that word should not present inside the custom list. Then only you take that word and assign to the word list. Okay, so in this coding, we are just simply uh, tokenization, whatever the word list we got, we are taking only those words which are not present in our custom list. And what is our custom list? Custom list is nothing but the collection of stop words plus those kind of actual this special character, dot, uh, comma, all these kind of words. Is it clear? Any question on this? Now I will print this word list. Okay, so now if you see here what I converted, what to say, stop words I removed. So what we got, first of all, that dot is removed from your what to say, from your list, which we got in tokenization. We are not having any kind of dot here. Okay, then there will be some words like this is removed. Okay, the is not there, and how is also not there. So these kind of words. And if you see, I also parenthesis this text, I just close into some parentheses. So these are also removed, just to show that okay, this is punctuation and we don't want punctuation in our final text. So this is also removed. Is this is clear to everyone? Any question on this? No question. Okay जी.
ऋषि
Okay.
जी,
हाँ बोलिए.
हेलो.
हाँ बोलिए.
जो एक सेंटेंस है, कस्टम लिस्ट इक्वल टू सेट स्टॉप वर्ड्स डॉट वर्ड्स इंग्लिश प्लस लिस्ट पंक्चुएशन, उसका आउटपुट क्या है, थोड़ा मुझे दिखाइए.
हाँ, custom. Oh, it will be very big, but let's see. Custom
अच्छा
list. See this.
अच्छा 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 अच्छा.
A
सारे पंक्चुएशन मार्क, ये सारी चीज विच इज नॉट देयर इन दिस लिस्ट.
हाँ. So
अच्छा अच्छा,
these
ये
are
लिस्ट कंप्रेशन.
हाँ. This is a stop words, right? हाँ. Stop words plus आपका list punctuation. Okay. Now we'll see. हाँ. कोई और question? Any other question?
नहीं.
Okay. Okay. Now what I will do? Fine. So here I am importing another library called nltk.collect collocations. From that, I am importing bigram collocation finder. So in ngram, we saw unigram, bigram, trigram, and other thing. So just to apply bigram, okay, just to find out in this sentence, what are those bigrams? Okay, I explained you on the level of alphabet. Okay, this is on the level of word, how you apply the bigram. So I have already taken here what you say, the list from the previous example, stop words. After removing stop words, I have taken this. Okay, so this is not a sentence. It is after processing the sentence. I have taken this. Okay. Now, finder, I am just declaring one variable and bigram collection finder. Okay. Dot from word and then you give your word list and print this. Finder dot ngram. If you see ngram dot id dot items. Okay. Now just execute this. On the right hand side, you can see what it did. Whatever list you gave, what is bigram? It is contiguous sequence of two words. Okay, so what are those bigram? One is I and believe. Okay, this is one bigram. What is the next one?
What?
Yeah. Yes, please. Okay. So like this, it just printed all the bigrams in the this list. Now if I ask you one question, suppose there are 10 words in a sentence, okay? Means there are 10 words in a list in simple terms, okay? How many bigrams will be there if we take two together continuous? Anyone? If we have 10 words in a list and you have to apply the bigram, how many bigrams will be there?
Nine, Risiji.
Huh? Yes, correct.
Nine.
Nine. Because we are taking two together. So that way we will get total 9 words, 9 bigrams. This is clear to everyone? So it is, if you are having n words in a sentence, the number of bigrams will be n minus 1. Very straightforward formula. Okay, ji. Now we'll move to stemming. Okay. Again, since my this is second session, so it will be over in another 1 minute. 40 minutes limit will be breezed. Okay. So we will start again. Okay, so stemming we discussed, right? We to arrive just the root word for each word, that is called stemming. If you read, then there's another word called lemmatization. There's a very minor difference between these two. Stemming, what it do, it literally removes the end word and try to arrive at the what to say root word. But lemmatization is bit different. Okay, it also arrive at the root word, but it takes some other path. So there's a one example was there which I didn't remember, like see and saw. Okay, so both of their root word is like a see for saw also. Okay, so that in that case, lemmatization works more perfectly than stemming. Stemming is just literally removing the end words to arrive at the root word. Okay, so we are having a sentence, you can see, right? It is important to be very Pythonly while you are Pythoning with Python. All Pythoners have Python poorly at least once. This sentence is like a, you can say, tongue twister or whatever. You will get on Google this sentence. So here you can see that the root word is Python. There are many forms of Python we have used here. So we'll do stemming. We'll try to apply stemming and see if this is able to separate the word root word. Okay. So what we'll do, we have already imported this. We'll define one variable stem equal to, and now we'll write like a Python. Okay, L. First we'll apply dot stem, and stemming we are applying on this word. Okay, for word in, since first again you have been given a sentence, so first you need to apply the tokenization. Okay, so word tokenize, word tokenize, and new text. So what I'm doing here, first for word in word tokenization means I have taken this text, applied the word tokenization, and for each word I am applying this ls. I have created an object of this Lanchester stemmer. This is one of the algorithm, okay, which I'm importing from this library, Lanchester. So there, for stemming also, I think there are some other algorithms are also there. So you can try those as well. Result will be almost same. Okay. So here I have created an object then ls.stem, and I'm applying for each word. After this, once you apply it, now just print stem underscore and. So hopefully all the people are able to understand Python. Definitely those who are new, it will be tough for them to understand this little bit. So you can see here, only the root words are printed here. To it is important. Important it is reduced to import. To by very Python, while it reduced to will. Okay, you are is reduced to r. So that is one of the problem with stemming. Okay, so lemmatization is more appropriate. Python. So at least for Python word, you can see all are reduced to Python, the root word of Python, root word. Okay, is this is clear? Then we move to WSD, word sense disambiguation. We know the different context where a single word can be used. Okay, so here uh, to avoid typing, I have already some lines are already here. So we'll go line by line. First of all, there's a library called NLTK Corpus. From there, I am importing WordNet. Okay. Now, what is this WordNet? This is having the collection of almost many words and the context in which it is used. For example, this for mouse, I want to extract. Okay, I will just print and then I will explain you. See, for word mouse, how many different kind of context it has printed. Okay, so this is, you can say it's a kind of database which is having the list of the context for each word. So for mouse, one definition is any of numerous small rodents typically resembling diminutive rats, having pointed snouts and small ears on elongated bodies with slender, usually hairless tails. So this is a typical mouse, which is animal. Okay, now you forget about this shiner, why it came here, I don't know. Now second mouse, other context. Okay, what is that? Person who is quiet or timid. So in fact it is capturing that context also. Sometimes people say to other, right, tum to chuha ho, right? From nature you are very much quiet or timid kind of person, so that is another context of mouse. Now there's another context, a hand operated electronic device. This is what we use with our computer. Okay, now you forget this, ignore this sneak and see the last. Uh, Manipulate the mouse of a computer. Now this I didn't understand how this is different from 04. Okay, so it what it means that manipulate the mouse of a computer is also mouse. This I didn't understand. Okay, so now you can understand the library. Okay, it is having the list of the context. So we'll use the same library to understand, try to find out the context of any sentence which we will give. So here I am importing Lesk. Okay, Lesk is, and then I am importing word tokenization. So word tokenization is almost the basic step. Okay, now what I'm doing, word tokenization, I have given one sentence, bass, related to bass. Okay, sing in a lower tone along with the bass. Okay, so this is related to sound. I am using the bass word in the context of music. Let's try to print. Okay, what is the context it is identifying? If this is clear till now to everyone?
Yes, Rushiji.
Okay. So what I'm doing here, I have typed a sentence, and then in that sentence I am saying this bus. Tell me the context in which bus is used. Okay, we'll just try to execute till here. Now what it identified, the member with the lowest range of a family of musical instrument. So it identified the context very correctly. Can anyone tell me what is the use of this identifying the context of a sentence? What is the use case of this? I think now I have to start calling by name because some people are not talking at all.
Sentiment analysis.
Yes, you can say yes, definitely sentiment analysis is one of the application of this.
Proper way of using the words. Something.
Sorry,
Proper way of using the words.
you can say up to some extent, right? Whether you are using
And
properly or not. Yeah.
when we type in Gmail, it auto suggests based on the context.
Yes, very much correct. Correct. That is one of the application. Correct. Any other thing? There are many examples are there. Many application. One is very famous. Anyone? Okay, chatbot also, right? When you talk to computer, the computer should understand in what context you are speaking. So that is also one of the application. Okay. Now, second context we'll try to print and see what is this. Now, what is the sentence? The sea bass really very hard to catch. Okay, so now bass is some kind of sea fish. Okay, and see what is printed here on the right bottom, the lean flesh of a saltwater fish of the family Sternidae. So it is able to correctly what to say identify the context. Now it's not that this library is very perfect. Okay, it will fail also. I will show you how. See the last sentence. Okay, now everyone here can understand what is the context. My mouse is not working. Need to change it. Okay. Let's see what it says. A hand operated electronic device. Okay. It has identified correctly. Now, if I say something, anything like there are many mouse in my home uh, and they are spoiling stuff. Okay. So now we understand in what context I'm using the mouse. Okay. Let's see what it says. See this. Manipulate the mouse of a computer. Now definitely this is not a correct context. It is not able to identify the context. So it also happens. It is not perfect that like us, it is able to identify correctly. So that also happens. Am I clear to everyone? Because looks like there's a dead silence. So this kind of silence is very dangerous in a class actually.
Rushiji, one
Yeah,
question I
push
have
it.
it.
Huh.
How how this is identifying the bass and mouse, how programmatically it is interconnected, and what is ambiguity, how it is telling, because you have defined SSS as some library,
Hmm. Correct.
but without linking of those variables or those references, but
Hmm.
still we can able to get the definition how this is interlinked to the code.
I see internally what is the algorithm. First of all, I will say how it is trying to find out the context using algorithm. That algorithm I also don't know. Okay, so
Okay.
maybe I will try to find out more on this, that how exactly it is trying to identify the context. Till now, I have not read anywhere that how what is that algorithm. Okay, and
Yeah,
why it
and
is.
Rishi, one
Ah,
yeah, and that's fine. And one more thing, if you remove this one SSS, means we have downloaded the library, right? SS for SSS in WordNet inset. If you remove that one, we can get this definition.
sorry, I didn't get what.
No, no, we have the library number 5 to 7, right? Line
See,
number from 5. If you
uh,
remove that one, do you get this definition with
no,
using less converted?
no. See, I will.
Six,
Uh,
six
uh,
seven is an example. 6-7 is not library
Yes,
import. I think only line 5 is library import.
correct.
so,
Oh, okay.
Rishi ji,
Ah,
he has written I play.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
if if you type a sentence, the C sing bass is very nice, something like that. The C sing bass.
Okay, wait. What I will do. I understand what you are asking. I'm
Yeah.
just
So
restarting. I'm just restarting the kernel. Okay. Now I'm not executing 5, 6, or 7. First of all, I'm not importing the WordNet. Okay. I just executed this. Now see, it will take some time. Why it is taking time? So what happened? This LESC, or what to say, NLTK.WST LESC, it internally used that WordNet, okay, to identify the context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here,
got it,
line
Rishi.
number,
Got it, Rishi. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
here someone was asking
yeah,
this is the
yeah.
library.
The
Line number
algorithm will
5 and
be working like on the related word. Like, see, the bass and C both are related. Sing and bass both are related. So on that basis, it is finding the context. But if you put C, sing, bass, something, so that they won't be able to find out. That is my assumption. So here the mouse home, right? So both the mouse can be in home, either the rat or the computer mouse. Both can be at the home. So there the ambiguity is happening and is not able to find out. So basically, the algorithm works on the related words.
Mm.
So yeah,
Okay, now for related to home mouse, animal mouse, tell me any other sentence which you think is not ambiguous. Anyone? Like dead mouse is spoiling, or is
rotten mouse is smelling very bad.
yeah, dead mouse is now smelling very bad. Okay, let's see it able to find out or not. So there's some problem, right? Sometimes it happens, definitely, even with chatbots. I still remember that Lovekeji message. So sometimes it's not easy for computer to identify the context. That is why till now they have not reached till human stage, I will say.
Mhm.
Okay. Shall I proceed forward?
Yeah.
Okay, so for count vectorizer, I have already printed the what to say whole code here. I will just explain line by line. Okay, so first I am importing the library called pandas. Then having I am having a corpus of the word. This same thing I have showed you in the slide. Okay. Now I am creating a data frame. In this, I've created a text, what you say key, and its value, key pair. Okay. And I've assigned that, pull this corpus to this text. Now I'm importing the count vectorizer library. Okay. Our count vectorizer function from this library, sklearn.feature extraction.text. Then I am creating an object of this. Okay. Now, what I will do, I am using fit and transform. This is one of the function of this class. Okay. After this, I am df.text. What is this? This data frame dot text. I am accessing this corpus actually, and then converting it to an array, and then printing it by using X. So we'll execute till this here. You see, it generated the same vector which I was showing in you in the slide. Okay. Now, if you want to print the vocabulary, okay, you just print this count underscore v dot vocabulary. It will print the vocabulary. Now, if you know Python, that this vocabulary is a dictionary type. So when you print the dictionary, it will never print in the order. Okay, it will always jumbled up. This is clear till here, till this point. It may be little bit what to say. First time you are seeing fit and transform, but after 2-3 times usage, you will get to know fit and transform. Sometimes we use fit. I mean transform. Once we in machine learning, we are using these things very frequently. Okay. Okay. So now same this library count vectorizer. Here in this above example, what we did, we didn't took out the stop words. Now this library is having feature. If you declare stop words equal to, I want to just remove these two stop words. If it is present there, then what will happen? Just execute this same thing with see this, the difference here. I'm not declaring in this line number 15, I'm not declaring any stop words. Now in line number 20, I'm just declaring the stop words, two stop words I'm declaring, this and is. So just execute this and see what you will get. So now I think the highest number here is 11. Okay, so it means two numbers are reduced. Okay, previously the highest number was this and the place was 13. Now it is 11. So it means two numbers are removed. So our vector size is reduced. This is one way to, if you want to generate count vector by after removing the stop word, this is a way to do that. Is this is clear to everyone? Am I going fast? Am I going slow?
No, fine, Ji.
Okay. Now, after count vectorizer, हाँ बोलिए.
Order dictionary won't help to sort it.
Sorry.
Order dictionary, can it help to sort the dictionary?
Other dictionary. Sorry. Okay. You mean that while printing the dictionary, how to sort it?
Yeah. Order dictionary will not help. Yes.
See. First of all, in dictionary, what happens? We access each element by key. Okay.
Keys,
So what happened? In this dictionary, suppose the is a key and value is 10. So it don't understand the value, I will say. It is just based on the key. It is accessible. That's why you will not get in order.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll see TF-IDF. The same way, we are having a corpus. I have already imported this function, what you say, function here. Okay, from sklearn.featureextraction.text. I have created a, what to say, object of it. Then in the same object, I am now fitting the corpus. So what happened? There is a help also here. Okay, you try type the object, this TF vectorizer. Okay, it is not showing the document here. So what you do, you can Google as well. Sometimes for some of the function, it shows the documentation in the spider only, and it will show you. There's some shortcut is there. Control I, no documentation available.
Maybe Rishiji, we need to add documentation in the path. Maybe I'm not sure, but Java we are doing same way. We need to add the documentation. Then only it will be available here.
Yeah. So you need to check it. I mean, you can check the documentation on Google also from where fit is coming. So if you see the man page or help page of TF-ID, this library, you will get the function fit and other function. Okay. So from there, once you see that, then you will understand more. So if you again execute this, see again, as you know in TF-IDF, also we are creating the vocabulary. Okay, so this is what I printed the vocabulary, and now what is the IDF score? Here, the vector which we generate in count vectorizer, here we say it as a IDF score. Okay, so this is how you print the IDF score, and same thing I showed you in the slide as well. So this is just to practically see how it happens. If this is clear? Use case of count vectorizer and hashing we have seen. For TF-IDF vectorizer, use case we will be able to see once I cover the machine learning, because what happened, I will tell you in short what is the use case. So suppose take the example of different kind of news article floating around the world. Okay, now you have to build a model in which suppose Google News. Okay, so in that model you need to categorize all those floating news on the net. So there will be different kind of category, right? One is some article may be related to defense, other one may be related to agriculture or aeronautics or economics or what, so many fields are there. Okay, so for that is your use case, you have to do that. Now how it happens, you take all the articles. Okay, now what happens, you do tokenization for each article, you break into tokens, and then you apply this TF-IDF vectorizer. I mean, this library takes care of tokenization inside. Okay, so this library, what happens, it takes the document, break the text into words, and then apply the TF-IDF. It calculates the TF-IDF score, the one which you are seeing on the screen. Okay, now using this, once you get all this score, then you feed this data into a machine learning language. And then based on this score, somehow this machine learning language will see, once we cover the machine language, it identify and create a cluster of documents. So then you name based on the words, you name the cluster. That's how you see the Google News. When you type Google News, it will show categorization wise news. So internally it works that way. Definitely Google may be doing much more and much more little bit what to say complex algorithm, but the basis is this only. Okay, I hope use case is little bit clear to all of you.
जी.
Okay, now this is the last topic. What is that? Hashing. Okay, so same corpus we are having. Okay, now I remember someone was asking, how to define that bucket size. So you see in this corpus, I think in count vectorizer we took the same corpus. And how many vocabulary we got here? Total 14 we got. Okay. Now in hashing, we are defining number of feature as 12. Okay. So instead of 14, we are saying only 12 bucket. We'll execute this code. And now you see this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. You see this. It created a vector like this. I mean, internally it created a number, and for each number it created a vector like this. Now here there are two collisions are there. Collision in the sense, if instead of 1 you are getting 2, it means that place is representing two numbers. So that is called as hash collision. So here we are having two hash collision. So definitely if out of okay, I will explain it bit differently. Now I have taken, we know there are total 14 unique words in our text. Okay, and I have taken 14 buckets. Now can anyone tell me, ideally there should not be any kind of collision, correct? Everyone agrees to this point. If someone is not agreed, he can tell me. I will execute this and then you see. Now see the first sentence. We are still having collision. How this is possible? Can anyone explain me? I have explained this
Yeah,
already. Yeah.
Rishi, I will explain you in Java how Java works, because we have the same functionality in hash map.
Correct.
So if you when you add the key like a ABC, okay, we have the ABC, and for the ABC we have the value of 3, and again we have another one ABC value of 5. But if we get the same key twice, it will create it. Their collision issue comes there. Okay, then it will store into the same hashing mechanism, same hash code, and add the data into the linked list.
So you mean
But
that
here also,
if the key is coming multiple times,
yes,
and if the keys are different, then hashing, then collision will not happen.
yeah, collision will, collision will not happen.
No, it will happen.
It
That
may
depends
happen.
upon the hashing algorithm.
Correct.
If the algorithm can be different, there are thousands of algorithms by which we get the bucket position. So for different string also it can predict a common number. So those two words will be falling into the common bucket.
Correct.
I mean to say that, yeah, it's not about ABC. It can be ABC or SAD.
Correct.
So it is going to. So if the length of the string is same, then the collision will occur. It's not like equals of the string. It is a length of the string.
No, here I may disagree with you. There's a possibility. See, it depends on the algorithm. Definitely on the length of a number, it may not be deciding the number, right? So algorithm will be much more complex, and it will be such that it will try to avoid collision to the maximum, but still collision may occur. So one factor may be length, but there may be other factor as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is hashing, right? So you can define your own bucket. So suppose instead of 114, I define 1000. Let's see what happens. Now you see dot in between. So it is not printing all the 1000 places. So that's why we are not able to see that. So there may be something else through which you can print everything and can see whether there's still in 1000 places there are hash collision or not. You can still see that. Okay, so you can play around with this code. All the code is there on my GitHub. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today's session, I will say. And please, everyone can type on the chat for the end attendance also, anything. Thank you, goodbye, or whatever you like. Everyone, please don't miss it, because I will be sending this data to everyone, and whoever is working on the Python, it will be useful for them. So I will give 2 minutes. Everyone, please type something. Okay. I think everyone have typed. So now I am just stopping the recording. Okay, to tell one more thing. I'm just stopping. Don't leave the session. Okay. So I'm just stopping the recording now. So if you are not typed, you will be not present. Okay. Stopping the recording now.